Hi everyone, Cole Chance. I am here today at Treehouse Yoga in Austin, Texas. It's a beautiful space and really excited to be able to film some videos for you here. So if you ever come to Austin, please come check out the space, Treehouse Yoga. Yeah. And today we're going to open it all up. So full body stretch. We'll try to get in all the nooks and crannies. But before we start moving, let's just get centered. Let's come from our mind, the racing mind, down into our body. So go ahead and close your eyes. Find a comfortable seat. I'm setting up on a block right now. Sometimes it's nice to lift the hips above the knees. So whatever you need to do to get comfortable, and then close your eyes. And start to listen in to your body. Maybe just focusing on the breath, and the heartbeat. And throughout the practice, continue to listen to the body. I'm just here to give you suggestions. So do what feels right for you. You're in control of this ship. Extend the inhale and extend the exhale. If you'd like to set an intention here, or just thank yourself for unrolling your mat and showing up today. That's the hardest part. You're doing good. And one more big inhale. Release. Open the eyes. Let's come to a seat. So if you were sitting on something, move it over to the side. Let's take the right hand down towards the ground. Inhale, left arm up and over, reaching to the side. I'm bringing my elbow down, so maybe that's available. Or maybe you're just reaching with the right and left hand. Take the hand to the back of the head. Press the head back into the hand as you spin the chest open. One more inhale here. And then exhale, elbow towards the knee. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, collapse. Again, inhale, open. And exhale. Coming all the way back up. We'll switch sides. So left hand or left elbow on the ground. Right arm goes up and over, reaching through the top fingertips. The more you reach, the more you can feel it going all the way down into the hip. Take the hand to the back of the head. Press the head back into the hand. Open the chest. Breathing deep. Inhale high. Exhale, start to curl the back. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Move with your breath. Come all the way up. Let's come over the knees to tabletop position. Hands are wide. Most of the weight is in the L shape of the fingers. Shoulders are away from ears. Let's extend the right leg long. We'll inhale here. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop the ankle or drop the toes over, gaze back towards the toes. Inhale, length. Exhale, knee to elbow. Length. Curve around. It's a nice stretch. Inhale, length. Exhale, knee to elbow. One more time over to the left. Inhale, length. And exhale, gaze back towards the toes. Good. Come back to center. Let's switch sides. Left leg extends long. Notice if the ears come up, we want to keep them away, if the shoulders come up, we want to keep them away from the ears. So inhale long, pull the belly in. Exhale, elbow to the knee. Lengthen. Touch the toes down, gaze back. Lengthen twice more. Move with your own breath here. One more time. To the elbow. Long. Touch the toe. Long. Drop the knee. Wonderful. Let's tuck the toes. Bring the knees up just a couple inches. The shoulders are still over the wrist. Start to push the ground away. See how the hips go towards the heels, and then begin to slowly extend the legs. Shift forward into plank pose. Notice if the shoulders come farther over the wrist, like I need to back up here. So plank to down dog, you shouldn't have to move. So you can kind of go back and forth a couple times to find the right length. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, sink the knees low, send the hips back, gaze forward towards the hands. Inhale, press into the feet, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. So 2 more like that. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, knees low, crouch, gaze forward. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, down dog. 1 more time. Inhale, length. Exhale, lower the hips, gaze forward, crouch down. Inhale, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Send the heels to the right, bend the knees, gaze under the left armpit. Find a little buoyancy here. And then inhale, come up, opposite side. So to the left, gazing under the armpit. Beautiful. Come back, downward facing dog. Come forward, plank pose, come all the way down to the ground. See if you can get everything to hit at the same time. If not, no big deal. Let's bring the fingertips wide, bring the chin on the ground. The elbows are facing up, kind of like goalpost. We're going to push the pubic bone down into the ground, start to push the ground away. The chest is still lower, the elbows are still high. And then on an inhale, I'm going to drop the elbows, bring the chest high, push the pubic bone down into the ground, pull the belly in. Lots of things, but protecting the low back. Release down. Let's do that one more time. So elbows are high. That brings the shoulder blades together on the back. Push the pubic bone down. Start to lift the chest just a little bit. Next inhale, bring the elbows back. Lift the chest high. Push the ground away. Don't fully straighten the arms. Bring the belly in. Breathe. Release down. Good. Bring the left cheek onto the ground. Feel the inhale. Push the belly into the mat. You shake the hips right here. Bring the hands together at the low back. Roll the shoulder blades and elbows towards each other. On an inhale, we're going to move the fists towards the feet. Lift up. The whole back body is ignited. Pull the belly in as well. Push the pubic bone down. Same cues. One more inhale. Exhale, leave the chest up. Plant the hands. Push into high cobra. Elbows stay bent. We're just coming up higher. And then push back into child's pose. Good.
Really opening up the chest there. You can move the hips side to side. Coming back into the breath. And gazing forward to the hands. Bring the shoulders over the wrists, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. Gaze towards the hands. You can step or jump. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins or hands to the floor. But we're finding cobra in the back, the sit bones, tailbone up towards the sky. Shoulders away from the ears, belly in. Again, lots of things. Exhale, bow forward. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Shins push into hands, hands push into shins, and bow forward. This time arms go wide. Take a bend in the knees and come all the way up to stand. Hands touch, gaze towards the thumbs, and exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, bow forward. Hinge at the hips. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Knees up or knees down, shift forward. Halfway down, gaze forward. Upward dog or cobra pose. Exhale, push the ground away. Pull in the belly, tuck the toes, downward dog. 3 rounds of breath. Inhale and release. Next inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. Step or jump. Halfway lift, find length. Bow forward. Rise up. Hands to heart center. One more salutation here. Inhale, lift, gaze towards the thumbs. Exhale, bow forward. Micro bend in the knees, tailbone to sky. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back. High to low plank, knees up or down. Gaze forward. Upward dog or cobra. Here's a high cobra. Downward facing dog. So it's so nice to begin to learn your body, and even though it'll change every day, to know the different modifications for if you want to go a little bit farther or you need to pull back a little bit. The wisdom to know the difference. One more big inhale here. Release it out. Gaze towards the hands, step or jump. Halfway lift. Bow forward. Rise all the way up. And hands to heart center. Inhale, lift high, sit low. Chair pose. Everybody's favorite. Or maybe that's just me. That was very sarcastic. Inhale, shine the heart. Exhale, sink the hips. You can gaze towards the toes. You would want to be able to see them, so you might want to sit back a little bit more. Lift the arches up. That sends the energy high. One more inhale, shine the heart. And then exhale, bow forward. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back. Low lunge, gaze forward. Pull the left hip back. Inhale, lift up, crescent lunge. So the feet should be like on train tracks, not parallel with each other, so you might want to open up a little bit. Pulling back on the left hip, pulling forward on the right hip. Maybe you have the back knee bent a little bit, whatever feels nice. Another inhale here. Exhale, let's open up to warrior 2. Sink low. Inhale, lift.
And exhale, sink low, pulling in opposite directions. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Keep the legs where they are. And then exhale, straighten the front leg. Reach, 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 reach. Bring the hand to the floor or to a block. Is a wonderful place for a block. Right arm comes up. With the right arm, push as if there's an invisible wall there to spin the chest open, and open a jar with the left hand to externally rotate. One more big inhale. Bend in the front knee. Come up, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg, flex the toe, grab the left wrist and reach back, sky archer. One more inhale. And then exhale, take the bend again. Bring the elbow to the knee, the right arm comes up and over, kind of dials all the way around. Gazing under the right arm. Check in with the back arch, make sure it's lifted. So we want to connect through the back edge of the foot. Pulling back on the left heel, on the left heel and the left hip. One more big inhale. And then exhale, plant the right hand, spin all 10 toes towards the left. Left arm comes up. Should be a big opening in the left hip. Push the ground away. Lift high. And then come center. Big step up. Right foot meets the left. Halfway lift, micro bend in the knees, tailbone coming high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Hands to heart center. Close the eyes, take 3 rounds of breath, come back to the steady breath. Come back into the body. Inhale, lift, high gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back, left foot. Before you come up, gaze forward. Parallel the feet, pulling back on the right hip, we'll lift high. You can bend that back knee again a little bit. That can help to square the hips. So you can even feel for the hip points here and make sure that they're fairly even. Buoyancy. One more inhale. And exhale, open up, warrior two. Reaching in both directions. Shoulder blades come together on the back. Sinking low, maybe even lifting the front heel. That helps to sink that hip down. Place it down. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse, keeping the legs where they are. One more big inhale, reach, reach. And then exhale, come forward, straighten the leg. Hips go back, reaching forward, plant the hand to a block or to the ground. Micro bend in that front leg. Left arm comes up. So left hand into an invisible wall, push yourself open. The right hand opens a jar to the right to externally rotate. One more big inhale. Come up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, flex the front foot, grab the wrist, reach back, sky archer. One more big inhale, long from hand to foot. And then bend in the front leg. The right elbow comes to the knee. The left arm dials open, spins chest open. Shining the heart. Shoulder blades on the back. Pull the right hip back. One more big inhale here. Exhale, plant the left hand, spin all 10 toes over to the right. So I could sickle the foot here, but I'm not going to, so keep it flexed. And send the hips high by pushing the ground away. One more inhale.
Exhale, plant the hand. Let's take a big step up. Left foot meets the right. Inhale, halfway lift, and bow forward. Rise all the way up, and hands to heart center. Wonderful. Spread the left toes. We're going to start to lift the right leg. We're going to come into a warrior 3 variation. So let's start with the hands together, and you can see what feels good to you. Start to lift the right leg. Start to kick it back. The toes are flexed, and you're going to lean forward, counterbalance. The foot goes up, the head goes forward. See if you can square off the hips, the toes are pointed down. One more inhale here. Start to bend in the left knee to place the foot back. It may not be graceful. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, plant the hands. Tripod down dog. So lift the left foot up, send it all the way high and back. Exhale, let's cross it over the ankle, over the right ankle. Shift forward, plank pose. If you'd like to take chaturanga here, come halfway down. Undo the feet. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Or you can just come to plank and come back to downward dog. Whatever feels good in your body today. Gaze towards the hands. Let's step or jump. Halfway lift and bow. Rise all the way up. Gaze up towards the thumbs. Hands to heart center. Good. This time we'll spread the right toes. Lift up on the right kneecap, send the energy high, lift up on the right arch, and start to lift the left leg. 90-degree angle. As we start to kick back, we'll lean forward, pressing into the hands, help with stability. Pull up on the pelvic floor. Pointing the toes down, dropping that left hip. You're strong. Another big inhale here. And then exhale, start to bend in the right leg. The toes find the mat. Inhale, we lift up high, crescent lunge, gaze up. Exhale, plant the hands, pick up the right leg. Tripod down dog, pressing it all the way back. Placing it over the ankle, come forward, plank pose. Chaturanga, gaze forward, or come all the way down to the belly. Upward facing dog. You can come into cobra. And we meet in downward facing dog. Breathing. Inhale into the back body. And exhale, let the chest sink low. Have a micro bend in the knee so you can send the tailbone up towards the sky. Inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, let's bring the knee all the way to the elbow. The knee to the hand. We'll sit back into pigeon pose. So before we come forward, we'll set this up intelligently. Flex the right foot. Pull back on the right hip, pull forward on the left hip. We're squaring the hip points. It'll probably bring you up. It should. Now from here, if you would like to come forward, or you can stay right here where you are. If you would like to come forward, I kind of like to just sway down. So I'm slowly kind of snaking myself down. You can come all the way down onto the floor. I really suggest a block. Because we want to be able to release the head so we can get deeper into the hips. So wherever you are, see if you can find a place to rest your head. And oh yeah, breathe. Hips are really tight and we hold a lot of emotion, a lot of tension here, and that tends to make us hold our breath.
But we need that deep breath to help to release. So we're actually creating more tension by holding our breath in these deep poses. So if you're in a pose that you can't have full freedom of breath, then back out of it a little bit, because that's a prerequisite. I'm not saying that word right. But so breathing into the sensation, as if you could target that area with oxygen. And then also check in with your thoughts. Where has your mind been? Have your thoughts been roaming? Have you been able to stay present? What's the patterns that's happening? And when you start thinking, just come back to breath. This is the time for you and your body. And the mind takes over the rest of the day. Or that's what normally happens. One more big inhale here. Slowly plant the hands. Tuck the back toes. We'll come up. Tripod, so right leg comes high. Bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe take a big hip circle here. Bring the knee towards the chest, shoot it out to the right. Bring the back heel down, open fallen triangle. Big inhale here. And then exhale, sit the hips down. So we're kind of like in this V-sit. It doesn't have to be wide, just a little bit here. If you have the block, grab it. We'll inhale, come tall. And then exhale, fold forward, just for 3 rounds of breath. If you don't have a block, you can take the head into the hands. Just breathing. Good. Start to come up. Let's take the right leg in towards the left leg. Inhale, come up tall, and then exhale, bow forward towards the foot, towards the flexed foot. The toes are coming towards your face. Again here, this block just never quits being useful. You can bring the head down to a block, or you can just move with the breath, coming up a little bit on an inhale and coming down on an exhale. I really like this as well, kind of feeling that wave. So coming closer to your toes every exhale. One more. Good. Start to come up. I'm going to bring the left leg and match it with the right leg. I'm going to twist my body, extend really long as if the crown was coming up towards the sky. Turn the chest over to the right and come down onto the belly, gazing towards the right. So it's a belly down twist. If this is too much on the neck, then you can gaze towards the left. 2 more big inhales and exhales. And then let's come onto the belly. So just pull the legs underneath. Let's bend the knees, reach back with the hands. On an inhale, we're going to kick into the hands as the hands pull into the feet, lifting the chest high. For 3, 2, 1, and release. Plant the hands. Push yourself up and back into downward facing dog, and we'll switch sides. Really opening here. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, pull it through, pigeon pose. So you'll be different on each side. That's just the way it goes. This is my more free side. So you can have practice joy on one side and practice some compassion and patience on the other. So here we're pulling back on the left hip, pulling forward on the right hip. So you're welcome to stay just right here. And if you need some support underneath the left hip,
You can bring a pillow, you can bring a block and set it right underneath there. I like to kind of sway my torso down. Find a place to rest for about 5 rounds of breath. Reconnect with the breath cycle. Check in with your thoughts. See if you can stay present. And when you find yourself trailing, be compassionate, no judgment, just bring it back. Next inhale, we'll start to come up. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes. Slowly coming out of this, come back into a tripod down dog. Bend the leg. Take a big stretch here, or maybe you take a couple circles. Whatever's feeling good. And then the knee comes into the chest, shift forward. We'll shoot the foot out to the right. Take the right heel on the ground, inhale, triangle, fall in triangle. And then exhale, bring the hips down to the ground. V-sit for about 3 rounds of breath. So extend tall and then come forward, head finding the hands or head finding a block. The toes are staying up. You can even take the hands or the elbows and externally rotate the thighs. Next, inhale, plant the hands. Slowly push yourself up. We'll come into Janu Shirshasana. The fancy word for bringing your left foot into the right thigh, extending long, pulling the toes back, and bowing forward. Either head to a block or move with the breath. An inhale creates space, and an exhale utilizes it. So always coming closer to the toes, rather closer to the knee, because we're looking for length. One more inhale. And come up. Right knee over to the left. Plant the hands. Turn the chest over to the left. Start to bring it down to the ground. Just 3 rounds of breath here. Maybe cactus the arms. Bring the legs underneath you. And coming back to the belly. Bend the knees, bring the chin or forehead to the ground. Reach back one more time. Inhale, roll the shoulders back as we kick into the hands. Hands pull into the legs. For 3, 2, 1. Release down, plant the hands. Push back, child's pose. Forehead to the earth, hips to the heels, breath in the body. And with eyes closed or eyelids heavy, find yourself back to a comfortable seated pose. Maybe sitting up on that block or that bolster or pillow. Bringing hands to the knees or to the thighs. Palm down is a gesture of grounding. Palm up is a gesture of receiving. So whatever feels nice to you. And let's just close out
with 3 big rounds of breath. On an exhale, we'll let it out the mouth, sigh it out. So inhale, out the mouth, drink it in, out. And biggest breath of your day, in, sigh it out. Bring the hands together. Thank yourself for showing up today. I thank you for showing up today, and I'm really blessed to be part of your practice. We all here are at Yoga TX. Thank you so much. Thank yourself. Namaste. Exhale. Then inhale, we'll start to sit back and lift the arms. So chair pose. Inhale, spread the collarbones, and exhale, sit a little bit deeper. So I have the knees separate here. You can have the feet together if you'd like. The knees are